All right, let's get this thing going. How is everyone tonight? Uh, doing good myself. This episode has been it's a lot of this is an episode I've been waiting for. Episode 10 of Dynazenon. Because I've been really waiting to see more about people's backstories and everything, and then we got that on top of a bunch of other just just good stuff all around. But anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? Let's see, we got JF here. Just realized that Chisa and Goldberg were under the same bridge as Yuta and Utsume were under in the first episode of SSSS Gridman. Got me thinking. It's just like a tokusatsu series to reuse certain locations in Japan. Other toku shows like Kamen Rider and Sentai, like the stadium we see, for example, it shows up a lot in both series. Yeah, I'd seen a lot of people noticing that stuff, and I've been trying to keep an eye out myself. And yeah, I didn't notice the bridge, but I definitely noticed that there are a bunch of other parts of the show that have similar, like, it looks like they basically use like some of the same stills or whatever, the same like images and stuff. And I just thought of that as just a world building, considering just showing that the two are connected from the first season. But considering how the first series, I feel like the second series does it to an extent, but not as much. I mean, most of these kaiju, you could kind of see a person in a suit to do these things. Like the first show, they did that a lot. The first season, they did that a lot with making it, like trying to give that feel, you know, all of the characters, the kaiju, the way they moved and everything. This one, it's kind of back and forth. Like I could kind of see it a little bit, but it's definitely a little bit more anime to me. But that is a really interesting point with that. Because of like what they did with the first series and everything, they do a lot of homages to tokusatsu. So I like that. I like that as an angle that's kind of like making it feel like an older tokusatsu series. Like, yeah, like all the Sentais or a lot of the older Kamen Riders. God, when I was watching Kamen Rider Black, it was like after like, I don't know which episode it was, but like about a dozen episodes or so, I realized that every fight scene would end up in the exact same rock quarry. The one that like probably most of the Sentai shows were filmed in as well. And it was funny how they did it. I realized like they would transition, like they'd punch someone off screen and then they would roll off, and they'd, instead of being in the little hideout, they'd be on a road, and it looks like that road could be close to the hideout, and then have another scene that would like drag them off, and they'd be like maybe in a field, and then they'd do like one more cut into another scene, and then they'd be at the rock quarry. But I kind of like that idea that it's more trying to capture what tokusatsu feel like. Because I really enjoy that. Because like there's a way different feel between an anime and the live action toku. Like years ago, before the Godzilla anime and this came out and everything, I had wondered why they didn't try to do this more with some tokusatsu shows. And like, I guess I've just come to realize like it's a lot of it is probably because it just doesn't have that same feeling. There's a huge difference between something animated and seeing live action practical effects and everything. I'm happy that they're embracing it a little bit more, that they're doing this stuff, and it's been good for the most part. Your mileage may vary, but they've been trying some different things, and like Dynazenon and Gridman, I feel like Dynazenon, I might like Dynazenon more than SSSS Gridman. I'll have to wait and see till the end. I'll want to see what they do for the finale, but a lot of this stuff in here I've like really been more gripped with. I went really off the rails with that. Anyway, Nate Fire. JF just realized that we were bringing up franchises where the second was better. Totally missed the opportunity to bring up the second Gamera movie. I felt that way for the longest time, and then I just recently rewatched the Gamera trilogy with my wife, and I really love Legion a lot. The Kaiju very much specifically the Kaiju, I think is just amazing, and I know that's not a hot take or anything. Like most people in the community feel like that Kaiju is just like top tier. but I kind of feel like the first one is actually my favorite in the trilogy now. I don't know. Fourth one. I mean, not the fourth one. I think I don't know. The second one rewatched it again, and it just didn't hit me the same way like I felt like it did before. I mean, all the Heisei Gamera films are golden, really. Yeah, that's true. Okay, you're good. Hey, Puddin', hi. You're doing good too, and Nate Fire. Nice to see you here. I don't know if you've been here, lurking or not, or this is your first time here, but welcome. Happy to see new faces here. Completely almost caught up with the original Gridman. I'm watching 90s Gridman, SSSS Gridman, and Dynasty simultaneously. Oh God. Well, I'm really happy to hear that with the original Gridman. I watched the 90s Gridman. I'm trying to remember like what order I did this. I watched Quadruple S. Yeah, I watched the Gridman anime. And then I think it was several months later I decided to sit down and I watched through the 90s Gridman like it was like day after day, like I just kind of just kept going through it. There's a couple, little breaks here and there, but I pretty much binge watched that during the summer, and it's a lot of fun. It's not like a godly tier tokusatsu, but I think what they do with it's a lot of fun. The designs are really, I think the suits look really good. I like the kaiju designs. And it's probably biased because I watched Samurai Cyber Squad when I was a kid, but I just really like Gridman's design, his tokusatsu design. Like, a lot of Ultraman designs just don't, when I look at them, I'm just like, they don't really appeal that much to me, but like Gridman, he has that right balance of a design to me, like that's really striking or interesting without being too plain or overdone. And I feel like a lot of the Ultraman designs are just very plain to me. I know that he's supposed to be like an alien and stuff or whatever, but I don't know. I like Gridman's design of both being like some type of like otherworldly creature, but also like having the armor. There's just something about that. And like Anime Gridman, I also like, but I think it's a little too busy. And I know it's supposed to be like more of a modern take on like mecha and other stuff like that with all the different details on it, but it's just like I've bought like one of the, I think they're called like the MOOCs, the like behind the scenes, like those like books that they put out or whatever. They had a couple for order for the original Gridman and SSSS Gridman like a year or two ago. And I bought both of them, and they showed some like I think it's also in the Blu-ray, the special edition Blu-ray. They had some like a small booklet with a lot of that same stuff in it, but they had a couple prototype anime Gridman designs, and there's one that I prefer, and it has a lot less detail. Like, it's more detailed than the original Gridman, but it's like a balance. Like, it's a middle point, and I just think there's sometimes I like panel lines, and I think sometimes people with like they go a little too crazy with all the little like, let's put like little hexagons here and little lines here and all that stuff, and I'm just like, all right. I meant Barugon the way better than the original Gamera. I like Guardian of the Universe a lot more than Legion. Okay, cool. In terms of characters, Dynazenon blows as a Gridman out of the water, even if I love those characters. It's my real big bias is the fact that the finale of Gridman showed the original 90s Gridman animated at the end. The battle with Alexis is just, I'm hoping that the finale of the show, if the finale of the show is even like half as good as the first season, I will probably say that Dynazenon is like a point or two higher in my books, point and a half like higher in my book than like Gridman or whatever. I don't really do point system shit anyway, but like it would be just like slightly above the first season for me. In terms of, yeah, okay, I plan on watching the final episodes one after another. Okay, I know that for the original Gridman, it's a two-parter, sort of, for that one. It's like the show has two-parters in it. Yeah, that it's fun. I think it's definitely fun because like the battle with Khan Digifire and original Gridman was very different because like for the 90, 80, 100% of the show, Gridman is extremely nimble, you know, being in just a suit, like just the spandex and everything like that, you know, and he's fighting guys in kaiju suits which don't have as much maneuverability. Like there's some that have less stuff on them, but a lot of them are very bulky, so there's like this back and forth and he's very easily like wrestling them to the ground. But Khan Digifire just has capes and stuff on mostly, and can actually go toe to toe with Gridman with mobility, and it's really fun to see that as like the last battle. There's a lot of fun stuff in there, and Khan really does wreck shop, and it's one of those like, it's funny to me because like I know the show wasn't like building an overarching plot, but it's just one of these things of just like Khan. It feels like Khan's just like, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna fucking beat Gridman myself or something like that. Like the way the last episode progresses, it just feels like he's just like, I'm sick and tired of this bullshit, I'm just gonna finally do what I've been meaning to do for like 30 plus episodes. This week was quite interesting. Hey, Yao, how's it going? Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed episode 10. I'm not crazy about the villains in this show, but the protagonists are way better than the ones from us. Yeah, exactly. Like, Akane carried the show to me for the first season, and I feel like that they, for the protagonists in this season, they really, like, across the board, gave them a lot more character, so that way, like, you don't have to have just one character. They didn't just make one character really deep or interesting. They actually made multiple characters interesting. And yeah, the villains, I'm not as like, they were definitely intriguing at the beginning, and I still think they're all right. I like the idea of a group, because I really haven't seen that much. It's usually been like a duo situation, and it's usually like you've got the evil mastermind like Khan Digifire or Alexis, who has the powers, the otherworldly being, and then you have the human kind of either like guinea pig or like stooge, or at least in Akane's case, like, you know, she really had a lot of control. Alexis gave her a lot of stuff that she could do. But yeah, these guys have been interesting, but not as interesting. I kind of hope that maybe the last 2 episodes something happens a little bit more with them. Hey Zim, how's it going? So, like, can we agree that the new Gridman content is considered Sorry, man. I saw the Facebook thing earlier, and I was, like, doing something, and I meant to reply to you. Yeah, it could kind of be considered Bryce posting. Like, there's, like, that's just, I just fucking love Gridman too much. I saw what you were talking about earlier, too. Apparently that's a thing on the new Dynazenon Blu-ray set, is like a live show fight sort of thing, where it's like several guys dressed up in like the full suits and things, and I'm like, that's really fucking cool, especially since they have like Grid Knight and stuff, and they've got the Dyna Dragon Cannon thing, and I'm like, that's really awesome looking. Gridman's cool, and I'm more of a Redman guy. Okay. That's probably because of how Matt Frank draws him. Yeah, no, he looks pretty cool when Matt Frank draws him. I enjoyed reading those. I think I'm like behind one issue of the graphic novel with Redman. Redman's pretty interesting. Like, it seems like he's got a little bit of a narrative going on in that story. Our villains for Dynazenon are still so absolutely vague. With only 2 episodes left, they have a lot they'll need to write. I kind of feel like they're gonna, I'll get into that later. I think they feel like they're gonna focus more on one particular person. Yeah, that concerns me. The show is trying very hard to be complex, which is good, but currently speaking, the pacing is somewhat atrocious. Yeah, I definitely would probably want to rewatch it. I definitely need to rewatch it once it's all out again. But I have felt like the pacing is a little over the place. unless we're leaving the eugenicists as vague as they currently are, those slow moments in the first few episodes would have truly been wasted. Time is limited. They didn't have that much time to spend. Wonder if Grid Knight is gonna turn into some kind of blue power-up. Hey, Biofan, how's it going? Blue power-up. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Yeah, I'm at the final battle with Khan Digifire is cool because we're seeing the two characters who are equally... Yeah, exactly. It's really fun. Blue Biofan, whoops. Khan Digifire being alien magma in disguise was kind of a shame in hindsight. What? Sorry, blue power up for Knight to assume a form like Grid Sigma. Oh yeah, was it you who posted the comment earlier today or something, or yesterday about the Sigma thing? I don't know. That's a really interesting theory. I'd be down for that, to see that. But I also would be a little annoyed because I like Grid Knight as his own thing. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of still feel like Sigma would be something saved for like another series. I kind of hope that they actually truly put that into something, I don't know. We'll see. Or heck, even if it's not Gridman Sigma, I'd like to see like another Gridman person, grid person. Baragon 301 made it. Hey Baragon, how's it going? Glad you made it. The only one of the villains I liked Mujina, but that's only because she's hot and not because she's interesting as a character. Yeah, she's pretty cute. TJ Wolf, hi, how's it going? Live action Grid Knight versus Anti will be really weird. Yeah, I saw that. The only thing I'm gonna really enjoy about that is the fact that I might get some good close-ups of that Anti suit. Because like there were some things from that suit before online. There's not a lot of pictures, but I've been slowly but surely working on it's gonna be, well, okay, this is like, see a good picture of this. I've been working on cosplay, and I've actually been trying to use some pictures of that to get like good pictures for making an anti-suit. This is like currently like the arm bits, like he's got that like accordion like sort of thing on the arms. Like I have I'm not sure how well this one's gonna work. I might have to change a little bit. I had like a prototype one that was a lot spikier around the round parts, but it didn't look as good when I like painted it over with latex. And this one looks way better, but it doesn't have like the triangular feel that I really wanted. But at the same time, I'm not sure really if I give a shit anymore, because it's taken me forever to get my ass up to start doing this cosplay like I wanted to. And now currently I'm trying to work on the hands, and I was like really like trying to figure out how to do them, because like there's some detail on there but not a lot. And then I saw like the suit actor, and it's got like he had these like certain like clawed like it's got this weird thing, and it's really hard to describe, like see even on like the model sheets that I have like from the books and everything. But at the same time, they're model sheets for an animation character, and like I don't know, it's not going to be proportionally right, and I have this problem of like I want it to look just as much as like I can from the show, but it's also animated and it's not a suit, and it's nice seeing like an actual human being in a suit to get like see what they did to like, they couldn't do this thing, or it was a little hard to do this thing, so they kind of compromised with some of the designs and stuff like that. So it's going to be weird seeing Anti kind of fight himself, but if I can get some like nice like shots of like the back and other parts of the suit and stuff, that might help me make make up my mind on like design choices and whatnot. Oh god, I've lost my thing. Yeah, Biofan 813. Hey Prof. Oh, it's Toku Josh. Oh hey, how's it going? Okay, I didn't know. I felt like there's probably a couple people on Twitter who've been on here, but I wasn't. I use the same name everywhere. Like it's gonna be Professor Kaiju. If you see that on anything, it's probably me. I've just decided to just completely accept this as my brand and everything, every fucking where I go. Okay, nice to see you. Really appreciate these weeklies. Can't wait for the last. Yeah, I'm happy that people have been coming. You know, like not like an enormous group of people, but like I haven't really done live streams before, and like on a regular-ish basis. I know I've had some trouble a couple weeks, but I'm really happy that people have been enjoying it, because like this is a really, you know, all about Gridman. I'm happy other people enjoy Gridman. Enjoy watching me talk about Gridman, as you know, simping for it every week. Whatever you do, don't order Redman Volume 3 off Night Shining unless you have to. I waited 2 months for my copy to show up. Okay. I'll be real, I usually order a lot of things off of Amazon, so I don't know. I also don't know when I'd be ordering it right now. But thank you for the heads up. Condigifier is a modification on the attraction use alien magma suit. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting. See, like them like recycle things. It's why he has the metal underwear on. Classic alien magma look. Ah, okay. We still need a show with Takeshi as the good MC having Gridman Sigma. Yeah, I would like to see that. Yeah, I prefer if Sigma, Knight, and Gridman were all separate characters too. I do hope we get another hyper agency. Yeah. I feel the same way. I have to see those live action scenes. It looks good so far. It would be really cool if you make videos on your anti-suit. I do. That was my plan originally. But let me tell you guys, I have anxiety that just sometimes, like, I get very anxious over a lot of things, and there's this part of me that's like, I don't have 100% sure what I'm even doing with this cosplay, because like I have been watching and researching a lot of stuff to lay the foundation for this thing, and for like the longest time I still wasn't sure what I was going to use material wise and everything like that, and I was afraid of putting something out that felt like so disorganized. But at the same time, like at the same time, I wanted to put something out like that because I know there's quite a few people who make like kaiju suits. Like, you know, there's stuff that they do that for G-Fest. There's a few people who do like some of the practical effects, like Xenofauna on Twitter and on Instagram. I've like DM'd him a few times asking him some questions on some of the stuff, because he makes like these really amazing puppets with like the latex and everything on them, and they're like really good, and he's done like some masks and stuff. And there's another guy, Sean, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's done a lot of cosplays, and I think he's gone to like a world summit for cosplays. He's done like a Kiryu suit that I think is like was one of his like big ones that he like went to contests with and everything. But like I just don't see, like I've looked up so many times to try to figure out like how to do that shit, and there's not a lot of stuff out there, and I thought I could do that, but it's also like a lot of work and I'm just afraid of like being like I don't know, like I'm afraid of being like not as knowledgeable on it. But I guess like I don't know, like I guess I could still be something for people, be like, look, I'm not like a crazy cosplayer. This is like a first time I've even tried to do. This is like the biggest thing I've ever tried to do, like making anything. So other than maybe this channel. But I don't know. I've already missed some steps, but I think I could still do some filming and do, even if it's just pictures and stuff, or maybe some things here and there, I could probably show something for the suit. I've been planning on like at least posting stuff up on Instagram and stuff like that for it. But yeah, the last episode of Dynazenon was pretty good. Yeah, it was a really good episode. I really hope Dynadragon or God Xenon are somehow connected to Dynazenon's creation, but who knows? Putting it out there will attract people that can help. I really appreciate that, TJ Wolf. I might actually try to put more effort into that. Anyway, this stream has been going on for almost half an hour, and we haven't even talked about the show. All right, let me get into this. This episode. So right off from the beginning, no opening. Like there's no theme, no nothing, no title or drop or anything. So already you know that they mean business. Like we don't have any time for this shit. And that's funny for like episode 10 and not like episode 12, like the finale. So, and it makes a lot of sense though, because the show this episode in particular has a lot to go over. Another thing that I noticed like right from the beginning was that the animation style, this definitely went to a different studio. Like you could notice that in multiple shots, but like at the beginning, like with Galma's face and Chisei, like they definitely took someone else, and I remember that happening like in at least one episode of the first season. And I'm trying to remember which one it might have been the Dream episode. So it's funny that I feel like the Dream episode had some stuff in it that felt oddly animated or differently animated, and it's funny that this episode, which is basically like the same thing as that one, has the different studio. It would be funny to find out if it was like the animation studio. It'd be funny if it like had gone to the same one or something like that. And it makes sense too because of the way it's animated. This stuff, there's a lot of shit happening in this episode. So which memories do you regret? So like every episode has been a question in this one, and I like this one really leans on to the beginning of the show when they go over, I'm trying to remember what the 4 S's stood for, but it was like something scarred souls, you know, like that. They already dropped what it is, and that kind of it already gave you like an overview of what the series is about, and this is really what it does. Like we're going into like the backstories of all of these guys. The eugenicists find another kaiju. It's funny that this kaiju, again, a 4-legged kaiju, is as strong as it is, because this is obviously like its power is crazy. Like it's a crazy power it has, but it's also like shown like later on that it's just a formidable opponent. And it's funny that this one, like the other 4-legged kaiju that came in when Grid Knight dropped in for the first time, was also like really strong. But like there's something about like this whole thing. Like Mujina tries to do the instance domination, and of course I'm not gonna, actually maybe I can, if I just skip frames with I just went past it, whatever. I can't, I'm not risking playing it again with the whole copyright strike. But she sees Galma like from the past, and she disappears, they all disappear, and we're left with, I wish I could remember his name. I feel like I'm remembering most everyone's names in here, but he had said, oh wait, do I not have okay, maybe it's just not playing the subs because like I'm going at like frame by frame. Oh yeah, he says now everyone can be free. This little fucker, I had some feelings about him before, and then I kind of like went back and forth with it. I think there's something more to this guy than the others. Like there is something up with him. And in this episode, I feel like they show that a little bit. Maybe I'm kind of going off on a limb with it, but I feel like this guy, because he seemed very nonchalant about this entire situation, and then he gets pulled in as well, you know, to this whole thing, but he seemed to know what was going on right from the beginning. And first off, I think that probably, I'm wondering if he had taken control of this kaiju to begin with, because Mujina looked like she had stopped midway, and she got sucked in by the power. So I'm thinking like maybe he started using it, or something. But yeah, everyone starts disappearing. And basically, so I thought at first that they were like in the Dream episode in the first season, that they're all kind of getting pulled into their heads by this kaiju. But there's a couple things in here that looks like that they kind of like actually get sent back to the past, but they can't really, like, they're not going to be able to affect the future sort of thing, but it's one of those, like, they can interact with the past to an extent, but they are, like, legitimately sucked into, like, this weird, like, time memory warp thing. There's, like, it feels like there's, like, some loose rules with it, but it's not, like, a specific, like, it's not just your memories, because things, in a couple places play out way differently than what happened. And there's definitely some interactivity that can happen in these things. So it's some weird, like, time warp thing, but it's specifically to, like, the memories, like, these things that these people have regretted, or, like, the worst things that have happened to them. Alright, let me stop for a second. If you haven't read, go check out the Redman comic. It's really underrated. Oh, yeah, it's good. This episode has the best animation so far. Yeah, I have, like, there's a couple parts that look a little goofy, but, like, it doesn't matter because it's all so fluid, and I actually like some of the expressions the characters have had in this one. I was immediately worried when I saw that. Oh, okay, yeah. I remember starting this episode getting to where people started disappearing and being super invested, and then my internet promptly dropped. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. That sucks. Yeah, when they were starting to disappear, I knew without no title, no opening, and people disappearing, it's like I already knew this episode was going to be, a lot of shit was going to go down. The new animation is very Trigger-esque. Okay, like maybe they kind of had more of like more of a hands-on thing with this episode or something. Both Dream episodes had the same animation director. Okay, cool. Thank you, TJ. Yao, scarred souls shine like stars. Okay. I couldn't remember the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. It's weird how the quadrupedal monsters are the stronger ones. Yeah, it's been funny. I'm pretty sure this kaiju was dominated by Shimu's before the others noticed it. Yeah, that would make sense. But it's also, like, that really leads into the whole thing of, like, why he did that, and why he seems to be, like, why did he, like, sneakily get this thing before all this happened, you know, before they even noticed and didn't say anything to him. If this show went on for too long, I imagine one episode would eventually be called, Would You Like Fries with That? Another Hasegawa Keiichi episode, and this one was a smart one too. It reflected a number of the themes, tropes that exist in his writing. Okay. Yeah, you know your shit with this stuff. Like, I'm not anywhere near as, like, knowing the writers and everything like you do. Oh yeah, he's super seedy for sure. Yes, yeah. They have to be building him up for the big bad. I feel like that. I really feel like that in this episode. You really get that Tiga Dyna Gaia feel from this episode. I really need to watch any and all of those Ultraman series. I actually still need to finish Nexus. I really need to finish a lot of things. Maybe he's the big bad, or maybe he's actually a good guy. I'm gonna go with big bad. I very much doubt that he's good. I don't know. I could be wrong. Hey, Space Tree, just popping to say howdy. Hey, how's it going, William? Try to remember the names. I just keep. Thank you for dropping by. Nayfire would like to see if they revealed him to be a character we already know. They have certain character voice. Oh, okay. I would not. I wouldn't be very happy with that. I don't. I think that'd be a weird callback. You know. It feels like a pocket dream dimension. Gridman has wacky dream world logic. Yeah, that's for sure. Remember Takeshi once accidentally created a good version of himself, the other? Yes, I do. And then there's that dream world where Gridman was put on a cross, which just seems to be a thing with a lot of the Japanese tokusatsu shows. I know Kamen Rider got put up on cross. I know Ultraman got put up on cross. I know like a bunch of Ultramen were all up on crosses in like one scene. I've seen like an image of that. It is weird. Nexus series concept was handled by Hasegawa, so you should feel a degree of similar. Oh, okay. Yeah. I still need to finish Nexus. I already said that, didn't I? Okay. All right. Interesting. The Tim Curry part was a joke, but it would be interesting if somehow we already know. Yeah, it would be. I like it though, thinking that he is his own character. Maybe if he is like a being similar to them or something along those lines, because like they don't really specify. Like Khan Digifire, they said he was like supposed to be like the demon, the ultimate, the demon king or something like that, and I'm like, okay, but like demon king of the hyper agent world, the hyper world, like there's I need some context. Like I feel like him and Alexis are part of the same like group or species or something. And despite the fact that I know that Trigger said something about like Inferno Cop, or not Inferno Cop, the Justice guy, the other Inferno Cop, that it's supposed to be him gone completely insane or rogue or something like that. Whatever. I don't buy that. Past trauma, hard hitting, the darkness of the soul, the evil of humanity are pretty common in his writing. Okay. Sure, the footage is Khan Digifire, but the name and personality are totally different. Redman didn't get put on a cross. He puts you on a cross, or rather puts a cross through. Yeah, totally. Redman is, he bears a cross, and then he makes you bear the cross, through your chest. So, right, so everyone is going in. This was just okay. I love them. I love them so much. He just drops in with, Auntie with Second, and I just like, they're the fucking cutest couple in the fucking world. I would fucking die for them. I fucking would. I love this whole thing, and comes in, but like, it's so fucked up that like, Auntie gets pulled into his past, and I really enjoy like seeing this whole bit, all the familiar scenes, like when Akane first treated him to food for his victory, and he just kind of falls back into that memory. And I like how they never show her. You just see the faded, blurry version or vision of her, but they never, put her back in the show. There's just something about that, and just Auntie remembering that time, those times. Right. So you may have been taken, and then they all slowly start popping out of existence. And I like that they leave a shadow behind, because that's what I thought of. Like, it's kind of like them going into their own world or their own memories or something like that. So it just leaves the shadow of themselves behind. They get to the top of the building, try to reach the kaiju, and Galma's just like, we just gotta go inside its mouth. I'm like, that's a very Galma plan. Of course he gets sucked in. But Yomogi actually, kind of does it. We see, Koyomi, back into his past, and it's at the part where the manager in her younger version, has the huge bag of money, but instead of running away like he did, he decides to go with her. And at every one of these scenes, we see like the vehicle broken, like some extra symbolism there and everything. Seeing Galma back in the past in his full Kaiju Genesis outfit was funny. Seeing them all just like kind of get along in the group is funny. And then the princess is coming, and I know that this probably isn't like a 1-for-1 thing from the original, but I really feel like this does put it kind of does confirm that Galma is either 100% or at least, in some type of like slight retcon, he's the mummy. Like, this is like, it's 100%. Like, I was going back through that episode and reading like the synopsis on it and watching a couple parts, and it's um like it really feels like that's what this whole thing is supposed to be. They kind of just changed the story a little bit, in it, that it's the princess. Like, I didn't even realize that the mummy, I forgot that the mummy did actually say it was 5,000 years ago. But, like, the princess comes to see him, and, like, he was a dragon user, in the context of Gridman. But, like, that means nothing, because, like, back then, they could have just seen these things as dragons, not specifically kaiju. Like, there's some, like, loose interpretation with that. And, I mean, it doesn't mean it's one for one supposed to be, like, an exact thing, because someone, like, I think wrote on a Wikipedia that it's like that the mummy was the basis for Galma, like, inspired him, but it's all written over this, that this is what it's supposed to be finally. So it was the princess from the text or whatever, who gave him everything. But yeah, Yomogi actually seems like he made it, because he's actually looking at all of the people's dreams from within the kaiju, but or the memory past pocket things, which I like the fact that he's looking through, like, screens and everything. But then he gets sucked into his own, and I kind of wish we saw a little bit more with him. But I don't know if it's because he's supposed to be the main character and he's got the main character armor sort of thing, or his past trauma is not as bad as some of the others, but he's able to snap out of it with Dynasoldier, grab on Dynasoldier and break out. But, like, from what they're showing in here, it seems like his problem is, I don't know what happened to his dad. I don't know if his dad is just no longer in the picture or his dad is dead. But it seems like his whole thing is his mom has been dating, and she's been probably trying to find someone else. And it feels like he just has not accepted anyone else in the place of his dad. From the different scenes that they've shown in here, that's what the vibe I'm getting from this. But he was, like, kind of distant about it, but he's never really dealt with it as much. And, like, in this one, again, I'm not sure if this is supposed to show that, like, maybe it's not as rides as heavy on him as the others and what's happened with them, but or if it's just main character armor sort of thing, and they need to get the story going with someone. But he takes Dynasoldier, he breaks through back into, like, the kaiju, and he's trying to, like, reach out to everyone, but he's having problems, and he's seeing, like, all the other their vehicles are broken, they're stuck. Can see that Yume is following her sister and the boyfriend. This is also, I think, really cool how, like, it's kind of just, like, deleting the entire city at this point. Chisei saved herself and the second with Goldburn, and they're just looking at everything. You can see the life, the stuff between her and her sister Yume and Kano, and they're just like, it's very, there's the tenseness from the older sister, like she just, like, has problems with her younger sister, or just doesn't like to hang out with her as much, but she gets her to promise to come to her recital, which is like, okay, that's something, like she's kind of trying to reach out to her younger sister. We get to see Koyomi and the manager, and it's like, it seems like he really regretted that he didn't go with her. And then we see Galma and the eugenicists, and again, like earlier when they first appear on the kaiju's back and drop down to talk to Galma, the only ones that we see talking are the other three, Mujina and Glasses and the other Galma. But we don't see the other guy, like he's in the back. He's still stuck on the kaiju's head. And even in this picture, his back is turned. He's not like in the mix of everything. You know, he's not like having a good time or anything, or getting slightly annoyed like Mujina. He's just distant. And it really makes me wonder a couple things. One, like, again, if he's actually supposed to be the big bad, which I really, that's where I'm placing all my bets on. Or maybe he wasn't, like, okay, it might be, again, it's one of the just random branch like theory here, but like I almost wonder, like, was he actually a eugenicist, or did he kind of like insert himself into this group, like, and that could play with the whole thing of him maybe not even being like a normal person eugenicist or whatever, like what couple of you guys have said, like maybe there's like he is some type of other creature, another worldly thing, something like Alexis or Khan Digifire along those lines, like another being. There's just some hints in this episode that make it really feel that way. It could just be that he is supposed to be the big overarching, like he's the one who's like really evil amongst them all. Like he's, or it could be that, I don't know. You know, just it's throwing some thoughts out there. But we see this very similar imagery from like the Dream episode from last season. But I really like this whole thing where not only has this thing sent back the people into their own little dimensions, he sent back the entire city. Like the buildings and everything are gone. It's just a flat landscape where it's just got the markings from where like all the roads and buildings were. Like this thing is like scary powerful, because like even in the first season, Bojack I think was the name of that kaiju. It was ethereal, like it could melt through buildings, and it sent just the three characters into their own, like, the dream world, but like it did nothing compared to this thing. This thing is physical. People can still see it, unlike Bojack, and it can like just send an entire fucking landscape of people, entire cityscape, just gone, including the city. You know, so I kind of like that it feels like a souped up version of that kaiju. I have missed a shit ton of comments. Let me go quickly. The boss is Space Patrol Lulkoka. That's another one I haven't seen. Over Justice was over. I knew it was like, I thought it had like Justice in the name maybe or something. I couldn't remember. Oh man, they totally could have done the elevator scene from Ninja Turtles 24. That would have been a little weird. So I guess Galma is the mummy. So he's a Japanese mummy. Yeah, I don't. They don't even really say what his nationality was. I know the Gridman show, the original Gridman, they said it was a Chinese thing. Like, I don't know if in the show they really determine if they've said if he was Japanese in Dynazenon or not. So, like, it still could be, you know, or if anything, it's very, very, very based off of that, you know. Again, like, it might not be a one-for-one thing. Galma had to go back to the past. Samurai. The voice drama even included that they were called dragon users by other people. Oh, god damn, these fucking voice dramas. Ugh. They reveal like 30,000 pieces of like lore that I don't know about. Hello, Galma. Still working for the village that slaughtered our people, I see. Oh. Yeah. The princess did what she had to for the sake of the country. Yeah, his whole backstory is just sad. That whole everything that happened with him. Yomogi watching the TVs in a dark room gave me Redman vibes. I feel like that maybe Galma could have been like a father figure, but he's more like an older brother figure. I could see that. Yeah, I hope the show can have a satisfying conclusion and wrap up the loose ends in only 2 episodes. I'm not sure if it's going to wrap up every loose end, but I hope that it wraps up. I hope that it has, like, it's satisfying enough. You know, it covers some bigger things, you know. I don't know. Galma still might be the mummy. Who knows? Yeah, exactly. I don't know either. It's. I feel like that he. I feel like that they're leading heavily into that he is. They slaughtered Osteogenesis because our chakra levels would multiply. They were jealous of our growing power, and they massacred us for it. Yeah, that's how it went. Um. Oh that look at that good catch. The young boy is definitely trouble. Oh yeah, yeah. I really do think so. Maybe he's more like Takeshi and Akane rather than Khan and Alexis. It could be. It could be. But like at the same time, we haven't gotten enough of this guy to feel whether or not he's got sympathy. Takeshi, I felt like, was less sympathetic in the original Gridman than like Akane was. But like, I don't know. I feel like him being like a sympathetic villain like them. I feel like more they might just lean on him just being this like puppet master. Maybe I'm stretching too much. I feel like he feels like he's like the shadowy, like sitting in the back sort of thing. He's been the one who's wanted them to like do more shit with their powers and everything. It feels like, and I kind of get that considering what happened to them. But also these people really have nothing to do with what happened to you in the past. So the sunset shot gave me Gyaos vibes from the yeah, that shot is so good from Guardian the Universe. Shizumu, I need to remember his name. Shizumu did pull that true Scotsman call when he implied the others weren't true Genesis. Yeah, I remember that. So it was a nice callback for him being something truly different. Yeah. I wonder if those buildings are being sent back to the times Godzilla or every Ultraman monster ever smashing the... Oh, God. That'd be sad. This guy could beat Godzilla. I am not having that conversation. Maybe he could. But Godzilla has survived black holes and being like dropped from the atmosphere. So I don't know. I hate those I'll be real with you. I hate those conversations with Godzilla. It's like, could Godzilla beat the entirety of the Avengers from the comics? And it's like, yeah, totally Godzilla could beat the entire Avengers assemble. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, I'm a Godzilla stan myself, or fan. But like, I got, never mind. Anyway, in the audio drama, he kind of insinuated that they could be independent from the country, but the others were upset. He feels like a loner. Ah, okay. Interesting. All right. So they go, right. Kano. Okay. So like Kano, was talking about going to the Watergate, the place where, Yume was and everything that we've been to over and over and over again. And I believe what they insinuate too from the images that's where they found her. When she died. Again, like it's hard to like see from those pictures, but I guess I feel like wherever they found her, she probably hit down and then maybe her body washed up somewhere else. But Yamogi is desperately trying to get to her, and I really enjoyed this, and he does finally get to her, and Dyna Wing is repaired, and she's able to pull through, and instead of like even pulling her out of her memory, he just like goes like after, tells her like, let's go after your sister. Like he cares about this entire thing. Like, who knows if this is going to affect anything, but it's like, but let's actually try to do something. And yeah, her sister Kano is singing on top of the Watergate, and it looks like she's about to step off. And yeah, and then it's kind of revealed that she never was planning on dying. She wasn't going to commit suicide. And she's like, why do you look so big? Doesn't fully question the fact that her sister is like twice as old as she was, or whatever, however long it's been. Yeah, never meant to break our promise. It's like she even says, like, why would I ask you to promise to come to the recital, if I was gonna do that? But like, I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to that one scene where she says it, but Yume just like kind of says something, and I really like it, where it's like, it really didn't matter, did it, one way or the other, you know, like in the end she's gone, whether it was an accident or not, you know, and this whole part was just really nice, her basically asking Yomogi if she could have some time, and you know, she actually talks to her sister, and I really like that. Like that, even though this is like a weird past dimension dream thing, memory thing, whatever, that she's actually able to talk to Kano, and it really does actually seem like she's talking to her sister, not just some type of weird other sister, you know, like some type of like artificial thing. It really feels like she's legitimately getting a chance to talk to her, and finally get closure like she's been needing. And then we just do this like fun little Yomogi doing like the growing thing with Gridman, Ultraman, you know, the boop 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 boop. And then goes right over to Koyomi. Koyomi looking like he might be losing his mind right here a little bit. And then Yomogi's entrance blows away all the money from the bag, and Koyomi's all like, "Oh God, we got to get the money." And then the manager's just like, you know, it might not even be real. It's probably fake. And that's when Koyomi's just like, what? And this scene, I don't know if I'm still missing something, but I really, like, I feel like maybe there's another message here, but from what I've seen, it's like, basically the money was never the thing with her. It wasn't that she wanted to run away with money or whatever. She really just wanted to run away with Koyomi. And he was scared. And I don't know if it's like... This one is like a mixed up one for me, because it's like, it feels like there was something that they had a connection, and he was like scared maybe of going further with it, or he just wasn't... he didn't have the confidence, or there's something. I mean, at the same time, she's done some fucked up things. Like, a couple of the other things just seemed like she was a bit of like a troublemaker or whatever like that. But like, I don't know. You know, you're fucking stupid when you're a teenager. I know for sure. I have some memories. Not as stupid as her, though. I did not fucking break like windows at a fucking school and then tell someone, yeah, please don't tell the teachers about this shit. But this whole thing is just, I don't know. It felt like kind of empty for me, because it felt like Koyomi has been hung up on her this entire time. And I don't know, like, I don't know if it was just getting confirmation to the fact that she did have interest in him, that she really did want to be with him at this point in her life, and then he ran away, and of course, you know, you grow up and you change, and your feelings change, and she settled down with someone, you know? And maybe she still has, like, something in there for him a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit, but it's like, it's not gonna overshadow, like, her husband, you know? So I don't know. This one was definitely very bittersweet for Koyomi, but I also think it's something that like he just needed to know, or whatever, maybe, and finally like get over that. So he's able to repair, and then we're just hit with one thing after another, because this next part, holy shit, like, all these, like, this shit, like, are you fucking kidding me? There's, fuck, man. Like, everyone's, like, lifeless body on the ground, you know, Mujina, this part, oh my god, he just, like, blood everywhere, falls to the ground, Galma just standing there shirtless, because, you know, of course he is, and, they're all, it's so dark for this show, like, I mean, for a show like this, like, it's gotten to some, like, sort of dark stuff, but, like, then just to see, like, all these people are dead or dying on the ground, and the way they're drawn and everything, it really has this impact. And then just asks Galma why he did all of this shit, and just, like, they were gonna, yeah, like, Yao, you were saying in comments, like, the whole thing was, they got scared of them, you know, they were getting rid of the Kaiju users, because, like, that's an insane kind of power, and it's being held within these, like, just few people. And yeah, it did bring a lot of prosperity to the country and everything, but they were legitimately scared because one bad turn, you know, one day they decide, you know, we don't want to serve this country anymore. How about we rule this country or do whatever we want? They're not going to be able to do shit for them. You know, they're not going to be able to do shit to the eugenicists. But at the same time, I don't fully agree with, you know, just fucking trying to kill them. You know, like, I don't agree with that part. I understand the fear, but at the same time, you know, it's still, the whole thing was fucked up. But Galma didn't want them to basically kill anyone. And they were asking, like, why do you want to serve, or do you care about a country that tried to do this shit to them? And it's like, it's not the country that matters to me, it's the people. Very much specifically the princess, you know, obviously, like, in the Gridman thing, they show that he'd fallen in love with the princess, and they're, you know, they basically say the same thing in the show with Galma. He cared very much for her, she did a lot of things for him, and, he didn't want to betray her, you know, despite the fact, now, they don't specifically say in here, but, like, I know in the original show, the princess never did not know about what they were trying to do to the dragon tamers, kaiju users, or whatever. It was unbeknownst to her because she had fallen in love with the mummy. And they don't specifically say that here, but that's kind of what I feel like is implied, that, like, maybe it wasn't specifically the princess, it was, like, the rest of, like, the, I don't know, her not supervisor, but her, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the names he'd use for those people, like, I don't, the rest of the higher ups or whatever, just basically saying, like, you know, they could be a threat to the entire country. So, but yeah, this whole part is just so fucked up, man. It's just really fucking fucked up. Fuck. Our protagonist sided with a country that attempted to wipe out people because they were different. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's again, like, I don't think it's implied, like, it's the country specifically that he wanted to protect, you know. Static Monster goes blur. Hi, Funk Master C. Happy to see, I don't think I've seen you in here before. I could be wrong, but nice to see you. Yamogi does an I am a man yeah. Would be interesting if Khan was revealed to be a Kaiju Genesis back in the day. Oh, fuck my headphones. Oh, God, guys. I've been meaning to fix these headphones or buy new ones, but I don't really want to buy new ones. I've been meaning to put something on these. Remember to keep care of your headphones and don't just, like, throw them onto the floor 30 times in a row or they might snap. I like that they go after the sister. It's unique and not what you'd expect them to do. Yeah, exactly. Funk Master C. Everybody gets an emotional breakthrough except the main character and Galma, who may still be stuck in the past. And I think Galma, yeah, I'm not sure if he had a full breakthrough. It's, yeah, especially, yeah, it's, yeah. Part of me feels like Shizumu wanted everyone to come to terms with the past so they can open up kind of like a dream instrumentality. Ooh, interesting. Maybe. I'm pretty sure it's him realizing he really did love her, and this was him facing the fact that he gave up on her, not the money. Ah, okay, that would make a lot of sense. Hey, Mujina and Glasses are taking a nap in the middle of a battlefield. Oh. I didn't like seeing Mujina lifeless. Yeah, I didn't like... Well, honestly, I didn't like seeing any of it. Like, they just look so... I don't like seeing this, though I'm leaving it on this anyway right here. Like, this just, it's just really, like, dark. Now, notice the little guy whose name I forgot isn't there. Yeah, exactly. Again, this is, like, the other scene with them, and it's those three and Galma, but not, where is this someone? Shizumu. I'll remember eventually. It only took me, like, 7 streams to remember the main characters' names. Dynazenon turns into a big Naruto reference. So we're short 1 Kaiju user. Yep, we sure are. Oh shoot, I just realized, yeah, the one with the hat isn't. Yeah, exactly. That's just why, like, I feel like I feel like it's like red flag territory, implying that, yeah, he's not there, you know. Oh, what does that mean? It's probably because he's, like, gonna be the fucking end boss or something, or orchestrate the last battle or whatever. When you're such a simp, you kill your homies to get your girl to notice you. Oh my god. Oh, that's hard simping right there. Very interesting that he's not there. Maybe he's the one who brought them back. Yeah, they don't fully explain, like, I don't know if they're gonna explain, like, how or why all of them got brought back. That might be it. Maybe he did bring them back. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get an answer to some of that stuff. Forgot someone else told him to do it and not the princess. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if they're, yeah, I feel like that was the implication from the first, in the Mummy, from the live action show. So I feel like maybe there's an implication that, like, the princess was not the one who ordered this to happen. Like, she did not want this to happen, you know. And it feels weird that if her and Galma were, like, actually in love, or at least had some type of very strong connection with each other, it feels weird that she would betray him like that. I don't think that that's what happened. I think they're implying that it was not her specifically. Like, they're even saying the country wants us, but not, like, the princess or something. So the country wanted us to get rid of us. Forgot someone else. Okay, there goes my theory of Mujina being the sister reborn. Yeah, I don't think that's it, you know, but I've been wrong before. Galma be the big simp. Fire Fury 190. Hi, thanks for dropping by. I love how the scene with Minami, and her sister is just like the scene with Haruki and his dad in Ultraman Z. I will take your word for that is exactly the same thing that happened. The theory I have for Yomogi is that he probably didn't really have that big of a traumatic moment. Maybe they're going to set it up for something later in the show. Like, maybe at the end of the show something happens. We need some fixer beam we need a lot of fixer beam for these people. Yeah, so Galma slowly is dying. And then Yomogi's like, there's no fucking time, Galma, to die right now. Because the Kaiju users are back, and they're trying to destroy the world, and then Galma just does this over-the-top shit where he, like, flips, jumps up, and then slams his, like, fist out, and his mech just, like, forms in his hand. I thought that was really fucking over-the-top and cool. And he's just like, thanks, Yomogi, you fucking keep saving me. And then Auntie has his little Vegeta Sasuke, Hiei moment of just like, they're like, Knight, we gotta go. And he's just like, I didn't need your help. I was perfectly fine. Shut up. And then we get this scene. Another great scene where they're talking and they're just hashing things out as two sisters. And, you know, just talking about the fact that Kano was talking about, like, you know, maybe I messed up, and Yume's talking about how, you know, how she thinks she may have messed up or something, but Kano says that she kind of envied Yume this entire time, you know, that she did all this stuff that, like, she thought her younger sister did a lot of stuff better than her, stuff that she wished she could have done. And then like I kind of thought this was finally gonna be the revelation. Like, I was thinking it was more along the lines that this was gonna be the character moment. You know, she pulls the pieces apart, finally. The puzzle has been solved. And that's when she finally, you know, gets that closure that she needs with her sister. And now her sister's frozen because, like, the memory, this has kind of come to an end. And, you know, that's, Yume finally did it. And she can kind of move on. And I thought that was really good. It was all very symbolic. I don't know exactly what this last scene with her sister, like, yelling out, I don't know if it's her singing or something, or maybe trying to yell out her sister's name. But then we flash into all of the vehicles coming together. And I just love Galma's line about, like, that kaiju sent us all back to our pasts and everything, so let's give it a big fucking thank you. And fucking, I know someone on fucking Twitter said it. I don't know who. I think it might have been one of you guys. Maybe been Josh, maybe. But I think someone I follow said, I am fucking, that fucking soundtrack, you better goddamn fucking write that soundtrack. It better fucking get here. It's supposed to be June 16th, I think. I've double checked. You do not understand. You do not understand how much I've listened to the original SS Gridman soundtrack. And this fucking song right here, they've used it once before. They used it once before in another episode earlier in Dynazenon. But one of these songs, it's so good. It's so good. It's got that, like, techno beat. It's got that, like, just that pumping shit. God damn it. Really love this fucking music. I can't get enough of Shiro Sagisu. Shiro Sagisu does some amazing work. But anyway, so we go back and, like, yeah, I need this music. I need this song. They bust through the fucking thing and they just bust through the kaiju. Night transforms the Grid Knight and they just start going, like, to town on this kaiju, whooping its ass a bit. But this part right here was just another cool scene, as that kaiju has, like, some, like, crazy, like, flash speed attack sort of thing and just zips right towards them. And as it goes through them, they break up into their four parts. And I'm like, that is just such a good maneuver. It's so good to see something like that. And then they come up and then they're like, okay, let's all combine. And they do, of course, the amazing combo Super God Kaiser Knight Grid Ultra Mega Knight Borg form, whatever, Zord. And with the just over the top cape and everything, holds a fucking cannon on its shoulder. Jesus, God, I love this thing. It's gonna kind of take out a loan to get this thing too when it comes out. Yeah, and then they just start, like, blasting it. Okay, and, like, this kaiju, despite it being on four legs, moves, like, with, like, the speed of the fucking Flash, just zip-zapping everywhere, slapping them around, and, you know, it's just like, man, how are we gonna pinpoint attack this thing? And I'm just like, okay, you know, I was just thinking, like, maybe they'll just shoot the cannon everywhere, but they're like, we're powering up the Dyna Saber through the hand, and instead of the green blade, comes out anti-circular pink violet blade, and God, do I love this fucking thing, because not only does it form, like, his circular blade, but then it's like the Kaiser Knight circular, and instead it just extends by, like, 20 fucking miles, basically so that this kaiju could not get away, and just cuts that thing clean in half. Like, oh God, it's everything I want. Everything I wanted. I wanted the backstory. I wanted a fun combination. I wanted an awesome fight with maybe a new power. And this episode delivered on everything. And so these last two episodes, God, I hope they're good. Oh God, I hope that they still have some shit that they're waiting for. And then the whole city returns. Everything's back to normal. Everyone's fine. Everyone can remember everything that happened. They all want to go eat and stuff because Galma is literally starving, like, to death. And Yume feeling good. She puts the thing back together. I actually kind of thought she was going to toss it into the river, but she didn't. I kind of thought, like, maybe it was going to show, like, her as like a thing to show that she's like moved on or something, and like a little symbolic gesture to her sister. They didn't. But yeah, then we got Second and Knight being cute, and all of them being cute, and Galma like almost collapsing from hunger earlier, and then like almost like this whole. I love this like goofy look he has. He like pulls up his hair and he has this like this dumbass grin in the eye, and then he just like starts running, and then we get this scene again, and we just end on sadness. Like for a whole like minute of just seeing Galma's lifeless body in the rain. And I'm just like, oh. Like as a reminder, I kind of am like torn on a couple things of like, if this is just again like to remind you that a lot of shit happened, or is it like a sort of like is it sort of like an insight to like what's going to happen? Like, you know, shit is going to get real. You know, shit has been getting real, and it is going to continue to get more real as we progress in the last 2 episodes. Or like, I think, Funkmastic C said or something about Galma being stuck in his past. And that's also a thing too. Like, maybe it's still showing that Galma has not, because he really hasn't. Like, I mean, all he did there was do the same shit that apparently happened 5,000 years ago, and then Yomogi pulled him back out of it. So there's still, I don't feel like he's like really been brought to terms with everything that happened, you know? So I don't know, there could still be something that happens, you know, could be a problem. So I don't know. This episode was fantastic. I think the last like 3 episodes I've been saying this is the best episode I've seen so far, and gosh darn it, Trigger, you did it again, because this is the best episode that I think has happened so far. And I better be fucking saying that for the next 2 episodes, or I swear to God, I'm gonna write an angry email. But yeah, so let's see. In my craziness, what everyone was saying. Pretty interesting that he's not there. Maybe he's the one who brought them back. Okay, I think I said that. Forgot someone else told him to do that. There goes my. Adroius, hey, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. The princess died for Galma. That really proved her love, right? Did she die for Galma? Was that what happened in the lore? I don't remember. But if that is what happened, yeah. I guess, you know, maybe that's the thing, like Galma doesn't know that happened for him. Because I think maybe, was that what happened in the original show? Like, I feel like there's still something like maybe he needs to come to terms with there, but like maybe there's some piece of knowledge or information that he can find out that'll help him in the last couple episodes. When other Galma coughed up that blood, messed with me, the show was pretty wholesome up to that point. yeah, it also caught me off guard, for sure. Like, I wasn't expecting just to see that. And the same thing with the Yomogi, because he was, like, beating through those, like, walls, and, like, he had, like, the nosebleed, and everything was getting scuffed up. I'm like, oh, man, they're, like, kind of going towards it. I mean, same thing happened in, same thing with, like, the first season. Because, yeah, I think it was episode 10. At the end of episode 10 was when Akane decided she was going to take things into her own hands after she was being cornered. You know, with her, and took her own box cutter to Yuta. And I was just like, that was one of those, like, wait, what the fuck just happened? That was a really good cut for that episode, too. Like, that was, like, very well put together. Let me see. I lost my place. I kind of wish we got to see what Auntie was up to, but yeah, I feel like Auntie was just kind of revisiting his past, but like Auntie, I feel like, I don't know if he's come to terms with everything, but he kind of feels like he has. I feel like it's kind of, he was seeing like what happened back in those times. Maybe he's like kind of like forlorn over the whole thing of like, maybe he does kind of like miss Akane. You know, she was his creator, and she was the only person that he really talked to for the longest time. You know, Maybe there's still that connection that he feels. And he was just eating in the dream. Yeah, and, oh my god, he eats so much. That's why I was so happy to finally see him eating like a little snack bar sort of thing. Because he finally grew up and didn't have to plow his face into a bowl of whatever he was eating. I guess Yume really isn't no hero. That's terrible, but I give you props for that. I love Yume no Hero, the song. Galma doing the Gunbuster pose. I have not seen Gunbuster, but I've seen clips of it. The symbolism of Knight's human eye overlaid over top of the bandage eye with the broken glass is really good. Yeah, that was cool. That was a really good shot. The shape of this kaiju reminded me of a kaiju from Ultraman. I forgot his name, but he was golden and came out of a mine. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't remember that kaiju's name either, but I remember that kaiju. Kaiser Grid Knight is the name. Yeah, I know that he has like an extra like suffix, like he's like super god king something Kaiser Grid Knight, and I'm just like Dragon King Kaiser Grid Knight or something like that. But yeah, I'm fine with just saying Kaiser Grid Knight. Kaiser Grid Knight with the cape looks like Starscream from during his coronation. I think someone else had said that like in the previous stream. And I forgot that Starscream had his cape from the coronation thing. Yeah. And he goes full Starscream in combined mode. F everything in all directions circular. Yeah, it's called Fuck You Circular. The kaiju going that fast makes about as much sense as Eggman outrunning Sonic in those early games. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool ability. Like, that thing can just, like, move like that. Though, yeah, Eggman makes no sense that he could, like, outrun or at least keep pace with Sonic in the original game. Thank God the city already vanished when he did the Kaiserite Circular. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's why he was fine using that attack. I'd hope that Auntie wasn't that narrow-minded about finishing off kaiju. It's like, Auntie, what about the rest of the city? And then just continues to like plow through it or something. That end scene would mean that our Galma could be different. There could be two Galma, just like there was two Takeshi. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of different, that could be it too. Yeah, everyone's having fun. It's amazing. It's lovely. Galma's dead body comes up. Damn it, show, you just had to ruin it, didn't you? This is definitely the best of all Gridman shows to me. Yeah, God, man, like they've been knocking it out of the park with this one. And I was actually kind of scared a little bit. In the back of my head, I was a little scared when I saw like the first episode or so. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but God, they've been doing some good shit with this. Please Dynazenon, don't be Samurai Jack season 5, where everything up to the end is great, and then the end is the most disappointing thing I've ever seen. Man, I was disappointed with the end too at first of season 5 Samurai Jack, but and I talked with a friend of mine who really kind of like put in perspective that it kind of makes sense that it ended the way it did, and I'm like, yeah, I almost kind of want to rewatch season 5 again. But I know how you feel. I definitely know how you feel. I really hope it's a good. I hope that it's a satisfying ending. I'll say that. Love the team uses their assist vehicles more than any Sentai team ever. Yeah, I like how that they. I like the way that they've used the vehicles in the show. That they're not just a random like. Like they've had they've been used multiple times, even in random episodes where they're not even like turning into the whole vehicles and everything. The moment in Gridman that messed with me was when Auntie got his face oh yeah, man, that one came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't expecting Alexis to go that hard out of nowhere. Yeah. God, because up until that point, Alexis was like, yeah, we know he's evil and he's probably kind of a dick, but he seemed like a kind of nice dick, and then he just turned into like just a pure dick. Then just pure dickishness everywhere. You think they'll do a third series to make a trilogy? I don't know, but I hope that they do. I hope that the Gridman franchise is a thing, that they'll keep making more seasons. If they're as well thought out as, even if they're just as good as the first season, because again, like, I feel like Dynazenon was like, has been much better than the first season, but even if it's like not Dynazenon level, I really hope so. I hope, like, I don't even hope it's a trilogy. I just kind of hope, like, they do this every few years, maybe, if they've got an idea for it. I mean, they do this. Ultraman has, like, 30 plus seasons. You know, we got, like, the 30 common writers, like, you know, and, like, these are 12 episode seasons. We're not talking about, like, a 30 plus episode show or anything like that. Like, it's possible. I would love to keep seeing Gridman, even if it's in anime form, even if it never has like another actual tokusatsu to it, like live action. I'm totally for this, just in general. Now I want Gridman to show up and tell Kaiser Gridnight that this is a bad comedy. Oh god. Androius, in the next show, I want to see the hyper world, like how they revealed the Land of Light home for many Ultraman. Yeah, I've been curious about that, like seeing the hyper world or getting more information about it, like the lore of the grid people, you know, the grid agents or whatever. Hey, the Doomslayer, thanks for dropping by. Auntie, you have something on your face, slashes Auntie's face. Oh, God. I just don't think it made any sense that Ashi only disappeared way after they killed Aku for the sake of dramatic time. Yeah, I kind of get that, but I mean, like, they wanted to, like, they wanted specifically the last season, all that stuff to be dramatic. I do kind of get that. It did fuck with me after I saw that, but I don't think it was, like, that, whatever, I that was my problem, too, with it. I don't know. It's one of those, like, I, again, would want to, like, rewatch Season 5 to see. I don't think maybe... Alexis was Tim Curry until he was older Tim Curry. Yeah. As long as the toys sell, they'll make more, and this one has really good toys. Yeah, I've noticed. And I'm gonna be a buyer, for sure. Once I release a couple other things. I just wish they'd put out more Kaiju figures. Because, like, as much as I like having, like, the hero, I'd love to have, like, any of the Kaiju from this series. I'd like to see the rest of the Kaiju from, you know, original first season of Gridman, but, you know, looks like that's not going to happen. I hope that there are other seasons I hope that if there are other seasons, they're standalone. I kind of hope that they are, for the most part, standalone. Like, I feel like Dynazenon is a lot standalone. Like, there's, you know, Grid Knight, of course, is like, you know, some there's a lot of stuff hashing back to, like, the first season. But if they did stuff like Dynazenon where there were some connections, but for 80% of the story you understood what was happening because it was all new characters and stuff, I think I'd be cool with that. Gzilla 100. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Standalone series would be good. Yeah, it still would be good. I think they could easily do that, if they wanted to. Did you see the trailer for Dynazenon DVD set? They're doing Grid Knight Fight short where all the anime characters in Tokusatsu. Yes, yeah, I have seen that. It's pretty interesting. I'm really, like, I swear to God that better be on the, like, American or international release. Like, if they have, like, a deluxe Blu-ray set or Blu-ray set or whatever, I want to see that shit, like, for real. Like, that looks so much fun to watch and everything. And I've wanted to see some of this stuff because I know they've done, like, live shows where they have the Gridman suit, anti-suit, Alexis's suit, and then Nanashi Form B's suit is well done for like these fights and stuff. Gzilla, JF, don't bring that conversation. Oh, yeah, it's fine, Gzilla. No, I was making something up, Gzilla, or I was just saying stuff earlier that like I'm not really into like talking about those like the Godzilla who would win in a fight. I'm gonna be real with you though, Cthulhu would just beat everything. I'll just from how they talk about Cthulhu is like an eldritch, like otherworldly being who breaks your minds, like from knowing it. Like it's not supposed to be an entity that you defeat. It's supposed to be this like, I don't know, like otherworldly force or whatever. It's just don't bring. Okay, I'm curious of how old the hyperworld is. Could be a dream world that's just more accessible because of the internet magic. Yeah, that's true. Like they could do a lot of stuff with that. Wonder if the special is Grid Knight facing himself or his past somehow. I feel like the special is probably more just. I could be wrong, but it just looks like it's just a fun what if sort of thing of just like, we got these suits, let's just have them battle things, you know. And let's just do a tokusatsu battle scene sort of thing. A lot of people brought this up, but the ending to season 5 of Jack was basically Gurren Lagann's ending. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, a little bit. I would buy that mini paint one. Mini paint. Are you talking about like the mini, the model kit for Dynazenon? Or are we talking about something else? TJ Wolf. That one does look good too. Didn't you say you were gonna review the black? Yes, I fucking did, didn't I? Let me just say that I unfortunately I have problems with putting videos out, guys. I don't know. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you may have noticed that I do have a bit of a problem doing that. That's kind of why I've been doing these streams, because it's been putting something out on the channel. I really have been trying to work out a schedule for myself because I have a problem with that. I have been wanting to put more stuff out, and it's already been like half a year now, you know, like, and I really haven't put out content. So, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking and trying to like figure out how to do things that would be easier for me to do so I can actually put out more content. Because I really want to, because I like making videos. I like making this stuff. And I've been inspired because I see a lot of wonderful creators on YouTube that I'd like to, you know, do similar things like they do. And yeah, I do still want to review the black. It's my idea. I'm trying to make it a shorter video, like a shorter thing with that one in particular. Hopefully like a slightly different video format. Let's have Sigma for the next show. I'm totally blessed. Let's get Sigma finally in an actual canon show. Oh god, I hope we get it on the West Blu-ray. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm afraid, because I know they've done that before with some of the stuff, like Toho's done that with Godzilla stuff before. I'm gonna be upset, but you know what? Probably, even if they don't put it on the Blu-ray, it's probably, hopefully someone will upload it somewhere, like to YouTube or whatever. I don't fucking care. I just want to see that, and I want to get, like, I'd be able to see some shots of those suits and everything. But I really do hope it's on the Blu-ray, especially if they do like the same thing with the original the first season, and they do like a regular Blu-ray set, and then they do like a special box set, you know, because if they do like a special box set and that does not come on there, I'm going to be really upset. Like paying an extra like $30 to buy the Blu-ray, and that's like, oh yeah, you get this little booklet and none of the other stuff that we gave to the Japanese, you know, audiences. Like, okay, cool, I guess fuck us then, you know. Godzilla defeated Zeus and Satan himself. No, really, read Godzilla Rage Across Time and Godzilla in Hell. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that, because it's just like, you know, we've had him in multiple movies that Godzilla is not like an impervious like engine of destruction, but then in other things they're like, no, that's exactly what he is. I'm like, okay, whatever. In the original literature, Cthulhu was defeated by simply ramming a boat on his ass. So physically speaking, Cthulhu is not that strong. I know that is how it went, but at the same time, he didn't die though. He was reforming. And I really think the idea was that this thing could not be really physically completely destroyed. But at the same time, I also know that Cthulhu, I think, is like not the strongest out of the pantheon of like Eldritch, old ones or whatever. I think there are supposed to be ones that are like way stronger than him, from what I remember, because I have a few friends who are like definitely more into Lovecraft than I am. I've barely dipped a toe into Lovecraft stuff. Godzilla, excited for Singular Point. I am. I have watched the first few episodes of it. And I think it's really good. I've just been debating on like trying to watch more or waiting for it to just drop on Netflix, since I know it's going to be coming out there soon. And I kind of think that's what I'm going to do, is wait for Netflix and just kind of maybe just watch the rest of it. Because I also want to make sure that whoever's subbing, you know, is actually good subs on it, because those first few episodes I watched were good. And then like the last, like I got up to episode 5, and I think like the last 2 episodes just had whoever subbed those things. Oh my God, they were atrocious. Like just like the broken sentences and everything. Ugh. The kaiju that rubbed its hands together and paints everything. Oh, a kit of that thing. Yes. I think its name is Zion. Because I was looking in Twitter feed, because of course he's my good little boy. Yes, I would love to. If they made anything of that, they made a plush of him, if they made a little kit of him, if they made a little toy of him, if they made a little fucking keychain, I want it. TJ Wolf, the only model kit is Good Smile Motoroid at the moment. I really hate their priorities. I get the fact that anime girls and the robots sell more, but you have to have the fucking kaiju too, man. Like, you have the robots, you have the heroes, you gotta have the monsters to fight. Come on. It's just think, Motoroid. Think Good Smile. I still need to watch Invincible too, so that I can finally like get that meme in full context. Now if the writers wanted charismatic villains, just have them all be singing robot assassins named Scaramouche. Oh God. I think that's probably how you spell it, but like I gotcha. I understand. Scaramouche was fucking hilarious. No super mini plot announced yet, sadly. Okay, I know that they did make a model kit for the Dynazenon, I think. You could just do a review stream for it. You know, I could, but there's a part of me that does not like that. I don't know. It's something I've been debating with myself with, about maybe doing more stream format stuff. I like it's a battle between wanting to do edited videos that are like, you know, have like flourishes and everything to them, because it's like that's the stuff that like that is the stuff that satisfies me creatively. These streams have been actually really fun though, because like I've had a topic to talk about. Like the first like stream I had done or two way like last year or something like that, they weren't really great, and it's because I didn't really even have anything to talk about. Also, I'd just never done streams before by myself. I've jumped on a lot of streams with Matt from Monstrosity's Tokusatsu Vlog channel a lot. I don't know. I don't know how many people from them are over here or know about that. But I've been on there quite a few times. I've been a bit of a jokester. I've been memed on. I've literally like taken over the Discord server with the amount of memes that other people make of me on there. But I've been debating on like what type of format I want to do, because it's like I hate writing scripts. I really do. The writing part is the part that really gets to me sometimes. That I've been I just like it when it's like got that punchiness of like an actual fully edited video has. So I don't know. I could do that. I don't know. Maybe I might. Maybe I'll try. Maybe I do that with some stuff. Like I still want to do an actual review for Dynazenon, like a fully put together video for it as well. But again, it's just like I have a problem putting out content, and it's just like one of those things where I'm trying to like figure out how can I do it that's a little bit easier for myself. So I don't know. What did I miss? JF, not crazy about Inhaler Rage. Okay. Only thing I'm frustrated about with Singular Point is that they fused Kumonga and Megalon and Hedorah at that point, just made its own kaiju. Just make it its own kaiju. Okay, I haven't gotten up to that point. I knew that there's some parts of it that look like some of the kaiju were kind of like meshed together. Yeah, there's been some stuff that have been weird with Singular Point. But overall, like the story and the intrigue has been really, just been really interesting for it. Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear Solid dude, fell in love with Singular Point and can't stop watching until the most recent episode. Oh my god, that makes sense. It feels like something Hideo Kojima would be interested in. Japanese kids don't like buying villain toys. Well, Japanese kids are stupid. Wait, never mind. Don't take that out of context, please. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But no, that's stupid. Like, you've got to have the bad guys for the good. You got to, if you have an Ultraman, okay, you have to have like a Red King for him to battle. Like, that's just like, why? I just, God, the lack of appreciation for kaiju just really gets to me from the guy named Professor Kaiju. It's so weird for me to say that. Most of the time. Okay, most of the time they're like that. Well, maybe there's some ones with some sense over there realizing that you have to monsters, man. Monsters are cool. Please no spoilers for Singular Point. Shit, I don't know. Did I say anything? I don't think I hope I didn't accidentally spoil something. I just know the story has been really interesting. It's been very science heavy, but like I found it to be really like fascinating. Like they're going into like some crazy shit with like the theoretical whatever stuff that they're doing there. And I'm kind of curious to see how like it all plays out, because yeah, I know some stuff dropped in the last couple episodes, but I haven't fully seen everything in there. I hope we get another humanoid kaiju like Anti for the end. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Kaiju have historically not sold well in terms of super articulated merch. That's what I have to say about that. I don't like that. Or even high-priced merch, for that matter. I agree, but it's one of the reasons why the Brave series had so little villain toys. That sucks. Ultra Monster series living for so long is simply thanks to being so cheap, thus low monetary value. The 500 line somewhat came about in a way to keep costs low, and that thus sales up. Well, at this point, I'd be okay with like some like even cheaper vinyls of the kaiju just to have them. You know, they're not going to be like fucking articulated SH Monster Art stuff. Like the ones that Good Smile put out for like Googleus, Auntie, and Dingo. The first three kaiju, whatever that one, Dan, or whatever. Like I liked those. Like I thought those were like really well put together. I think they were a little more expensive than they should have been, but I still bought them because I'm me. I just wish they put out stuff like that. Ultra Act Golza is the most popular example. Oh well. Maybe one day we'll get our cheap kaiju merch. When the stores were struggling to get rid of MMS Jet Jaguars for $3 a piece, and most of the early SMG releases were half price and still sagging, that speaks to how the sales do. Devadan. Okay. Man. Ugh. Stupid. I'd buy an articulated ante. I would too. God damn it. Ugh. Of course, we're not the whole market. Seriously, don't know how anyone who owns an Ultra Act. Don't know anyone who owns an Ultra Act Golza. Bryce, if you want to educate yourself on the wider Transformers universe, check out that new Shattered Glass series when it comes out. Maybe I will. Thank you for the I can't. My brain is starting to shut down now. Why can't I think of... Thank you for the recommendation. That's what the word I was looking for. Recommendation. Sings Deva Dan. That's exactly the same thing I thought when I saw his name. I thought, like, it reminded me of Baby Dan. Bio 813 in a heartbeat. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Well, I think... Oh, God, it's only been 2 hours. So anyway, guys, this has been a fun stream, for sure. I think this is, like, might have been the most viewers I've gotten, like, consecutively on a stream. Happy everyone has enjoyed the show, and I'm really hoping... Last 2 episodes, baby. They better pull their weight. Like, I'm really hoping this ends out on a banger, and not with a whimper. You know, I feel like they're building. I feel like the kindling. They've been pushing the kindling up a bit more with these last couple episodes. So we'll see. Ultrac Golza isn't overly rare, but it isn't common. Looks like if you ignore the tail, okay. And we're being teased with an SH Monster Arts Golza. Might be terrible, so that in case forget I ever told you about it. Oh, the tail being sculpted completely wrong. Thanks, Prof. Yeah. No problem. Love these streams. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. If you actually follow the history of Japanese super robot shows, villains were not designed for toys. Ultra Gundam surprised everyone with how many people love the Zaku and its toys. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm very excited for Friday. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, it definitely is. All right, guys. I don't know what else to say. Appreciate everyone showing up. Appreciate people been coming back on a week-to-week basis. And can't wait for next Friday, and can't wait to see you guys next Saturday. I think I'll be seeing you next Saturday. I forgot I do actually have something I'm doing next Saturday. I'll keep it posted. Maybe I'll move it up to Friday instead the stream. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll definitely say on Twitter, and I'll put a post on the community on the channel, so if anyone needs to know what's going on. All right, good smile, get those damn Motoroid already. See ya. Good stuff. All right, guys, thanks for joining.